We all wanted to grow beard. There was a time when just having a beard was not when you come back home, you can with your extended members. Sometimes holiday, maybe another 6 months or so. With the activity be there's big emphasis on external family dynamics. It's pretty you growing up, but honestly remember if you was a relative thing with them. I stayed with my auntie niece, the uncle, like holiday 2 weeks or 1 month when I school. External family members were big parts of the history. On Monday here, just Monday here, I heard my neighbor, also very and so to not say nobody the teens everybody talking to his would have not said the truth. Not a good time. And look down, most of the times, right? Like your street, you see new face, because it's no friend around. You walk on you around niggas where they're wanting making an assumption here. But let me to this question this morning. Foremost, how often interact with your family? Because we want to be laws and everybody how to but it's to relate with your family members. So that question 2: when was you or your children spend holiday in them? Like I said, growing up, the big thing for us. But one time growing up and now was going to Zurich. Never forget. One girls us. It was us. When I girls, right? The cousins. This of the schools cousins who had children also came. No care. All knew was that these all the boys in one room, all girls in one. Sometimes when the and some of us were all coming because in our ways. Steam man wrong in during the simple in one house. Being there, they're all side for the road, fighting everything together. This is 2024. Iron XO.
The views pinched or ground not citizen of area each outlet.
Red keep my civils 790020790 Nigeria info PH at Nigeria info Facebook and on Nigeria 064116. I'll read my second 0817 Mirror is on the quick mail.
Thank you.
Good one to don't you have your children ask you me come and say but you don't know everybody even family ways their children differently. So people are careless, the brother but you might be careless to be stupid. When you go now your child finds out to learn how to cook and before look at them telling them because nobody telling them saying different there are so many things that boy this one. Yeah, so many things people trying to avoid. JJ, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Yeah, Jude, good morning.
Good morning.
Jude, you remember the song by Tupac Shakur? That's the way it is.
Oh.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. You remember that song, right? Things can never be the same again. Jude, your own, you call 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like 25.
Wow.
And we have eating mates.
Hey.
4 people to one set, 4 people to one set.
Whoa.
And we are graded like you're fighting in MMA. Or this one that, what's this boy's name? This Nigerian boy, is it, what they call MROC or whatever?
UFC.
Thank you very much. UFC, where you have Brock Lesnar and those people. That's how we are graded. So they grade you by your rating. If you are rated Arrow Superstar, you join your Arrow Superstar. If you are rated among those who can swallow fast with hotness, you will join those people. There are times you are 6, but you can swallow fast and you can swallow hot. You are rated with 16.
So you're saying, JJ, are you saying people don't do that any longer?
No. It doesn't happen anymore.
All right, JJ, let's go for a break.
Trader,
One, we're talking about extended family dynamics this morning, and I'm asking you two questions. All right, how often do you interact with your extended families? That'll be your cousins, your uncles, your great uncles, your second and third cousins, and all the other types of relations that you have around you. And second, and most likely the most important of this is, when was the last time? You see, I'm specifying when was the last time. The first one is how frequently. So do you call regularly? Do you guys see? Do you guys speak? Some people are very fortunate. They have cousins, great cousins in the Port Harcourt. I remember there's this family. There used to be Rumigbo, Ezobi, right? One family is on one street. The other family was about 3 or 4 streets away. They're cousins. Older, younger brother. They're cousins. Every Eke market day, one person will just go and be, I'm sleeping in my cousin's house. I can't go. Maybe they don't have light in their house. Or your mama they cook panadiam and open salad today. We are coming. And I saw that, and I won't lie to you guys. I was genuinely jealous. I was genuinely jealous. It's the same thing when I was growing up, and I would see, like I said, I don't know anybody who I grew up with who did not have a cousin, an auntie, or an uncle who was living with them or who came to spend holidays with them at some point in time. But you see, the frequency and exchanges were such a beautiful thing to behold. You see, in fact, at that time, I didn't even take cognizance of this. But you see, this holiday, Monday here, Easter Monday, when everybody was at home, I got to hear that, brother, don't bring your children, come. Everybody just day where then day. And I obviously did some reading, and I know people have been talking about this for years. The family structure and dynamic in this country, and indeed maybe in Africa, is beginning to evolve. Some will tell you there are pros and cons. That's a different conversation for another day. But it's gotten to the point, for some, I'm not saying it's a blanket statement, I'm not saying everybody's experiencing it, but it's gotten to the point right now where extended family relationships are on the decline. Is this true? Or maybe it's just this, this period, this inflation period, this Sakpa period. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. So, once again, when was the last time you, all your children, spent a holiday in your relative's house, your cousin's house? And you see, the brilliant thing about, I don't know about now, but in those days, it did not matter if your uncle had a big screen TV or if there were, air conditions in your house. It did not matter. What was important was that you are going to see your family. You're going to spend time with your uncle and auntie. Whatever they cook there, you will eat. It didn't matter.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning, Benedicta is on the line. Good morning to you, Benedicta.
How are you?
Very well. You share the same name with a cousin of mine.
Okay.
Now I'm feeling I'm feeling very mushy.
I'm very mushy. Happy Easter celebration. We're still in the season anyway.
Yes, we are. Happy Easter to you, Benedicta.
The first question. I'm a family person. I think I took that from my father. He's a people person. So we were born and we were brought up to know family, cousin, relative. Is a great value in my house. So my children also, I make sure they visit. They started visiting as early as 1 year old, 2 years. I can bundle them from Port Harcourt to Lagos. They go spend holiday with. Yes, they go spend holiday with their grandparents, their uncles, and their auntie. I like family communion. It's a strong thing for me. And I also have this habit of calling my uncles, my aunties,
Oh, that's good.
I call. I keep that relationship. Like I said, family is very, very important. People are very important to me. I value people more than things.
That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. So
with the whole what did I say? The world we live in today. Everybody trying to keep to themselves and manage themselves and all that. But then there is a limit. With the grandparents, with the siblings,
oh dear. But maybe you have to call us. Ijoma is in room. Hello, Ijoma. Good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Jude. How are you?
Very well, Ijoma. Good morning. Welcome, please.
Okay. I like this conversation this morning.
Welcome.
I come from a very large family. My father has 3 wives and 16 children.
Okay.
And then my husband comes from a large family too. His father had them 10.
10?
Yes.
Just one shy.
There's a bond in the family that up till now we still relate. My children can go to any of the homes. Right now, my son is staying with one of his cousins in Abuja. And then my daughter can go, come back. Jane, my daughter can go, come back. Last holiday, Christmas, my brother's children, 8 of them put together, came to my house to stay for Christmas.
8?
8, yes. Little children that will wake up and tell you that, Mommy, when I wake up, I want to eat. Don't tell me to wait. You understand that age bracket? You know, that wake up with hunger. So the youngest one are twins, and they're just 1 plus. So they all came to my house. The oldest 15. So from there to the last one, 8 of them, they come around. They could come for weekend. They can come this Easter. They are hoping to come before they go back to school next week. So it's a bond. If you cultivate that, those children grow knowing one another, and there's love amongst them. There's no segregation. But I see that some families don't have that bond anymore. But if you grew up having that bond, you still would want to continue, because you still have that bond with your brother or with your sister. So you would want your nieces and your nephews to bond too while growing.
Indeed. All right. So, Ijoma, you just expressed a very rare occurrence. 8 children, apart from your own children, spending time with you. So let me ask. Were you not worried or scared about the financial implications?
Financial. We share what we have. Sometimes when they are coming, my sister could say, okay, these children, they come to your house, take this one, add, so that they go chop as they want. You know, that kind of a thing. So, I mean, what you have, you give. They know that, auntie is not just bringing soup that does not have meat because she wants to punish us. They know that's what is in the house. So we just share what is there.
Ijoma, thank you very much. Such a wonderful story. I can only wish you the very best. Let your energies and strength not wane as you carry 8 children plus your other children, making a total of 25 going through. Keep your energies up, Ijoma.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. 8 children, not her children. 8. Brightener from Woji. This is on WhatsApp, by the way. 009-030-6416. 009-030-6416. Brightener in Woji says, the last time I spent quality time with my cousins was growing up as a child. Currently, working around the clock has made it difficult to see my cousins except during occasions. I and my family are just chilling, although my kids visited their grandparents last week. Brightener from Woji. This one's from Mr. Moki. Mr. Moki says, relating with extended family members is a beautiful experience, but in our society, most family members have made it such that each time they are around you, they are asking for one thing or the other. They can't relate with others without asking for something. They see you as a family member only when they can get something from you. And if they don't get it, they go about vilifying the person. That's one of the reasons people run away from some family members these days. They are too competitive. Mr. Moki. Good morning, sir. I have never had such an opportunity in my life. I am usually jealous of my friends that grew up in the village with me whenever they travel to their relatives' places during holidays. It is actually a very good thing. Arute, happiness. It's a good thing. But Mr. Moki's message, in fact, let me get back to Mr. Moki's message. All right, let me read that once again. It says, relating with extended family members is a beautiful experience, but in our society, most family members have made it such that each time they are around you, they are asking for one thing or the other. They can't relate with others without asking for something. They see you as a family member when they can get something from you. And if they don't get it, they go about vilifying the person. That's one of the reasons people run away from some family members these days. They are too competitive. So it's not just, okay, times are hard now, but there's also the dynamic of people not being cooperative. And this can happen. It doesn't matter, whether you're from the north side. It's family. It's people. It happens. 017-923-0002. 017-923-0003. 017-923-0002. 0817923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH. Oko Namdi on Facebook says, hard economy has made extended family a mirage and uninteresting. A mirage, you say? Really? I get Mr. Moke's view, right? I've heard stories, and I'm sure because of social media these days, we get to have a lot of those stories being thrown, bantered, shared, and all over the place. Of uncles who have either assaulted children or aunties who would maltreat children, and let's not forget, even the Nollywood movies of yesteryears, also depicted that scenario. You send your child to go and stay with your auntie or your cousin or your brother or sister, and that child now becomes the maid, now becomes the house help. Maybe you send the child to go and spend holiday there, and they say, oh, you know what? Let this child just stay here now. We'll pay his school fees. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, these things happen. It doesn't mean that the extended family dynamics should be discarded now, does it? Does it? I grew up hearing stories of men and women who would take their younger brothers, or sometimes their younger brothers' children, and raise them as their own. In this country, in fact, it was a thing when I was growing up. I honestly cannot remember any single person growing up who did not have a family member staying with them. I can't remember one, and I mean one. But I grew up hearing stories of uncles who would take their nieces and nephews. Some would even stay with them up until they're in secondary school, up until they're in university. They go home to their parents, They go home to their parents. Maybe their parents are in the village. Sometimes, we used to be in Elekaya Estate, right? So my cousins were also in Elekaya Estate. They used to be on Circular Road. They are crackers, right? And they were neighbors, with the Lemebris, right? Why am I remembering all these names? Anyway, point is, being family, This person sleeps in this person's house. This person sleeps in that person's house. We'll go to school together. Sometimes they eat in my house. Sometimes I eat in their house. In fact, it would be, you know, when we're growing up and they tell you, when you go out, don't eat, don't let anybody give you food. If you come to your uncle's house or your auntie's house and you don't eat, it's like you've insulted them. And what is interesting now that I think about it, we didn't have phones those days. We didn't have phones. But if I was not home at so and so time, or if my cousins were not home at so and so time, my mom or my auntie would go to our house or the other house first. Have you seen so and so? And 89.999%, that child will be there. I'm curious, do you have that same relationship now with your brothers, with your cousins, with your aunties and uncles? I'm not talking about grandmothers and grandfathers now. Messages. All right, we'll get back to phone lines. The phone lines are good. They're active. 08179230002, 01792300007. Good morning, Mr. Jude. You just brought old memories. I remember how my cousins will come over to the house for holidays. How we wake up in the morning and the first thing is to go and buy puff puff to eat in the morning. It's a beautiful thing. It creates good bonds. Still talk with my cousins, just that we don't see again because of distance. Oh, that's good to know. Good to know you still relate with your family. Good morning, Jude. How can extended families continue when we live in a society where all the enemies of your home are in your home? The churches, the mosque, everywhere you go to, even the juju priest will tell you it's your mother that is doing you, it's your brother that is doing you. All of these things have fractured the once beautiful society that we lived in. How many people can confidently go to their cousin's house and eat without saying prayer or binding and casting demons? External dynamics, you say, they are dying, Jude. Precious is in Ajib. Precious, good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
I enjoy your program this morning.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us, please.
Hello, you said?
Thank you for joining us. Good morning, please.
Okay. I want to make my contribution to
yes.
the ongoing discussion.
Go on, please. Go on.
I think on my own part, what has actually slow down this family relationship, I think, is when you marry a bad woman to a family. You see, sometimes they bring up some issues that might discourage the relationship to go on. So when a family that is filled with crisis, I don't think there will be this kind of relationship among the children, cousins, and all that.
I can hear your children at the background. Oh dear, that's awesome. Well, there's also that, Precious, thank you very much. Maybe people get married to unsavory characters, you know. Maybe that's one of the it's very possible. I don't have the answers. Do you agree with Precious's submission that if you get married to somebody who's not particularly good, you know, it damages the relationship? But is that why it's so widespread these days? Or is it widespread? Once again, from Monday, you know, when we start Monday, which was a holiday, like I said, you know, maybe it's just this year. Right? Maybe it's just this year. Maybe it's just because, yes, fuel is now 675 naira in some places, or even 700 naira in some places. Or if you're in Bonny, I hear it's 1,000 naira. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's why, you know, people are not traveling as they ought to, or as they would have loved to. You know, so maybe that's the contributing factor. But that's just for this year. What about in previous years? Good morning, Jude. The world that you knew is no longer the same, Jude. These things that are happening these days make you wonder if you can even trust your own shadow. Don't you read the news? Is it not on your station where they make news about men who have raped 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds? These men, are they not somebody's uncles, somebody's fathers, somebody's brother? Extended families are not as easy as they used to be before. That's my take. Well, I agree that yes, a lot of these stories have come through, but even with the cost of living being high, let's be honest, when we were small in the 80s and 90s, cost of living was still high. Maybe like Benedicta said, maybe you share. That's why it was working those days. I'm not privy to what my uncles and my dad were doing back then, but maybe sharing helps. Maybe if you're sending your 5 children somewhere, you tell your brother, my picking them, they come, please, take this one just in case. This picking, they chop well, they chop over here, so maybe buy this one extra. That helps. The children don't need to know. All they know is they're going to spend a holiday with their uncle and with their auntie. I say this again. I know I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. I'm not guilt tripping anybody. But the excitement I used to feel when my father would say, okay, you know what? This holiday, you will all go to Lagos and go and spend time with Benedicta and Uncle Friday. That's it. We arrange it. The excitement, palpable. Driving, getting on the bus, we're just giddy. Angel is speaking to us from Igbo-Ichie. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Jude.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome, please.
You see, like what you're discussing, ordinarily is supposed to be something that we should enjoy in terms of cooperation among family extension and stuff like that. But there are a lot of factors that can hinder that. One is the fact that when you begin to suspect that maybe your brother, the wife, maybe you don't trust the wife, I don't think in that situation you can allow any of your child to stay with them. You understand? So,
but why would you? I can hear you, but why would you not trust your wife's, your brother's wife? Why?
My brother, his life is naturally like that. You see, sometimes one can be suspicious. Like as it stands now, I don't think I will allow my own kids to stay in my brother's house because the wife, I don't like the type of life, her lifestyle, her character, the kind of character that she displays. My brother is suspicious for me as an individual. I will never allow my child to stay with them. I'm telling you. But if ordinarily it's just my brother, but for the wife, no. I will never allow my child to stay with them.
Sad. But you do have a good relationship with your brother.
Very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Evil prophecies in church has brought down family relationships in our communities. Fidelis from Chokocho in Eche. All right. Sugar Boy, also from Igbo-Ichie, says, Brother Jude, be aware of evil uncles and aunties who are witches and wizards. Count me and my children out of extended family member relationship. I'm saying out of experience. May God help us. But Sugar Boy, you're forgetting that your children are going to grow up, right? Your sons and your daughters are meant to be close, right? Now imagine if your son, your own son, the one that came from your loins, and your daughter now have a quarrel, and then you now hear, maybe when you are 75 or 85, that one of your sons is saying your daughter, who you gave birth to, is a witch and is a wizard. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying how do you ascertain these claims that evil uncles and witches are everywhere? Lawson is a room with Maya. Lawson, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jude. How are you doing today?
Very well. Good morning, Lawson.
Great. Your topic is very good today, and I have something to contribute to it.
Yes, please.
Yes, like you said at the beginning, I feel jealous, when I see families and extended families cooperating. But unfortunately, I don't cooperate or have such a communication with my family members.
Oh, dear.
and it pains me a lot. As I just speak to you today, just like one caller said, I can't even take my kids to go and visit my brother. But my case is not because of the wife or my wife, but it's the attitude. There is massive and unhealthy competition among brothers and cousins. Some of these competitions throw a lot of panic and hatred among themselves, and including the suspicion as we are talking about. Think about when a cousin believes that among all the 8 or 9 cousins in the family that he's going to be the richest. And unfortunately, if things did not work the way he wants and someone is becoming richer, jealousy comes in and envy comes in. Think about when an uncle believes that it's only from his own family that the rich children will emanate in future. And unfortunately, he's not working there because it's not God. Envy comes up. You understand? Even amongst brothers, even brothers and brothers, even me speaking to you now, my immediate younger brother, if I tell you who he is and what quarrel us, you won't believe it. So these things are not good. How I wish that all of us can come together, make changes, and make the world better place for all of us. I sympathize with my children because they may not have that joy interacting with their fellow cousins. And perhaps if we don't do something, it will continue like that until they become what? Parents too.
But that's the thing.
Thank you so much for your
Lawson, see this aspect, this worry you have is genuine because you are concerned about your children not knowing their own cousins. But what if it now happens between your own children, between they themselves? How do you correct this if you don't show them how to do it? Imagine if imagine if your son and your daughter or your 2 sons start to quarrel.
Beautiful. This is exactly the question at which my mom is listening. I am very unhappy with my mom because my mom is alive. I'm supposed to look into the matters rising right now between us, and instead she's taking sides, and then the annoying word, the person is feeling aggrieved. She is busy telling you sorry instead of correcting the wrongs. If my children tomorrow grow up, even right now with me, I am doing my best to balance their relation. I am that such a father that will tell you you are wrong, you have done wrong, but you see, you forgive him, is your brother. But seriously, what you do now, no do him again.
All right, thank you very much. Don is in LLA. Don, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Don, I want to crave your indulgence. We're about to go on a commercial break, please. But I beg of you, can you send me a message? I want to read a message from you, Don, before I end today. Can you do that for me, please?
Not Don,
Tom. So I'm sorry. Okay. Can you send me a message, please? Thank you very much. We'll go on the break, please.
For how much? That's how you react when you see really high prices for rice. But there's no reason to complain.